So we got an important video today. I'm going to talk about the mindset shifts that really, and I mean really helped me, lose the 40 plus pounds and keep it off, right? Main thing being actually keeping it off, because that's super important. A lot of us lose fat and we don't keep it off. One of the most important things when you're losing fat is to actually keep it off. And another thing I wanted to say is before you can reach your goals, right? I know a lot of us, we chase these goals. We have this end destination. But before you reach those goals, you have to become the person that can reach those goals, right? You have to shift your identity. You have to shift your way of thinking. You have to shift how you look at different things. Realizing that food is fuel. It's not something you do when you're bored. Food is not something that you do for comfort. Food is not something you use to celebrate, all right? It is literally fuel. When you start looking at it that way, when you make these other mindset shifts as well, you will notice that you're going to be able to make way more progress. And everything that you lose, you'll be able to keep it off. If you're yo-yoing a lot, this video is definitely for you. If you've done a keto diet, you lost weight, if you've done a random diet or you water fast a lot, or you're not really sure, why you're not losing weight, this video is definitely for you. All right. So one of the most important things for me was just showing up and having integrity with myself, right? Because when you have integrity with yourself, that means you're going to do what you need to do when no one's looking. Most of your progress happens, when no one's looking, let's be honest, because eating what you're supposed to and sleeping and what you consume as far as social media, all that stuff matters, right? Like, of course, we go to the gym for like an hour a day, but the rest of the day is the most important part. What are you consuming? Are you meal prepping? Are you being honest with yourself? Are you weighing yourself weekly, bi-weekly? Are you measuring your waist size? Are you doing everything that you need to do? Are you actually drinking enough water? Are you hitting your protein intake? Are you doing all these things? It's super important that you do all these things, but the only way to make sure that you're doing all these things is to have integrity, right? Is to have that integrity, because without integrity, obviously anybody could post some shit on social media. You can take a picture of a meal and be like, oh, I'm eating this right now, or oh, I just started this diet, but actually not be even doing it, right? Like once the camera turns off, you could be doing whatever. A lot of people do that, right? And at the end of the day, like, you can fake it all you want to, but at the end of the day, your results are going to reveal whether you've been doing what you need to do or not. All right. And another thing I wanted to say is showing up is literally the most important factor. Like, if you continue to show up in the kitchen, nutrition, and as far as like mindset, like reading and what you consume on social media, what you consume on YouTube, all those things, if you keep showing up, you're going to win. It's literally impossible to win if you keep showing up, because in order to get to your goals, you literally just have to show up and execute the work. If you show up, you're more likely to actually do the work. But most people, they will just give up if they don't see results after 2 weeks, not knowing that, the results that they were going to get is going to take longer than that, obviously, but that it took them longer to actually gain all that weight, right? So showing up is one of the biggest ones, guys. If you don't feel like showing up, still show up. Stop letting your emotions dictate whether you show up or not. It's insane. That's what integrity is about. It's about showing up, doing what you need to do when no one's looking, but also showing up regardless of how you feel. There's too many people that emotions affect. Too many people literally depend on their emotions. If they feel like shit, they're not going to show up to the gym. If they're tired, they're not going to show up to the gym. If they feel weak, they're not going to show up to the gym. Listen, I showed up to the gym with COVID. I showed up to the gym with the flu. I showed up to the gym when I had a common cold. All that stuff, I didn't let it be an excuse. And I've also known people who have literally broke their foot, broke their arm, pulled their bicep, and they still show up to the gym. They just work around it. And that's the mentality it takes to actually win. And I know you're probably saying like, well, they could have took time off for that. No, because their mentality, who they become, is someone who's an athlete, someone who's fit. So they're going to continue to show up to the gym. All right. This is definitely one of the most important as well. All right. So chasing instant gratification is what a lot of us do. So in order for you to really reach your goals, and something that's really helped me is delaying gratification. Knowing that everything I'm doing now, I'll reap the benefits for later. Like, for example, a bamboo tree takes 5 years for the roots to build underground. And then literally in 9 weeks, it grows to like, over 50 feet tall. So that's insane. You see it growing in 9 weeks. You're like, wow, how did it grow so fast? You don't realize that, it took 5 years for it to actually get rooted underground, right? A lot of us don't realize that. Like, same thing with the fitness journey. The amount of times I failed, no one saw that because no one paid attention to me when I was failing, right? The amount of times I was like, man, I just want to eat crumble cookie, or I just want a pizza, but I didn't eat that pizza. I just wanted to sleep. And then I executed the next morning. The amount of times I'm like, you know what? Let me just go to Chick-fil-A, or let me do this, let me do that. But I meal prepped instead, and then ate what I needed to. No one saw that either, right? Nobody saw that. But I delayed the gratification because I knew that if I just do something right now, like if I want candy right now, eat candy right now, it's going to affect me negatively later. So never give up what you want most for what you want now. All right. So it's very, very important that you do not give up what you want most for what you want now, because obviously if you eat, candy right now, but obviously that doesn't support your goals, what's going to happen? You're probably going to eat more candy. You're going to be way away from your goals. You're going to feel like shit. You're going to crash as far as like energy levels, and you're going to be further away from your goals. And you got to realize that 6 months is going to pass regardless. So you'd rather be closer to your goals than further away from your goals. And that's one of the things that helps me a lot, just thinking about that. Like, okay, the time's going to pass. Why not be closer to my goals? Everything I'm doing now, I'll see it later, right? And when you start seeing those benefits as well, it helps as well. All right. This as well is one of my favorite things, because I always tell you guys one of my favorite books is Compound Effect. And when you realize the power of the compound effect, it's going to help you a lot, because here's the thing. We expect weight loss to be like, okay, I lose the exact same amount of weight every single week. You could literally lose 0 pounds for 2 weeks straight, 3 weeks straight, and then drop 2 pounds, 3 pounds for 3 weeks straight, right? Or 4 pounds for 3 weeks straight. Or you can gain 2 pounds, but it could be muscle gained and then some fat loss, and then you can lose 4 pounds the next week. So it's not going to be exactly linear, but if you continue to lose fat over time, this is what it could look like, right? Like a lot of us, it took us a long time to gain the weight, but we want to go from 315 to, 280, 287. We want to go from 315 to 287 in like one day, right? We just want to do that in 1 day, 1 month. But in reality, it takes time, right? But if you lose 2 pounds per month for the entire year, that's 24 pounds down. If that's all fat, you're going to look insanely different. You're going to have, 10 inches off your waist. However, realistically, you can lose 4 pounds per month. And even more realistically, I've had clients lose like 8 pounds per month. So if you lose 2 pounds per week, you're like, oh, it's only 2 pounds. And then after a month, you're like, it's 8 pounds. I don't know. But if you lose 8 pounds for 6 months, you're now down 48 pounds. You look like a whole different person. Your face is leaner. You have more energy. You're buying different clothes, right? And that's all because you just believed in the compound effect, and you believed in what you were doing, right? That's why it's important to not be so short-sighted. So many people are so short-sighted. They don't realize that small changes can lead to either good results or bad results. Like if you start eating more chips than you used to eat and you start watching more Netflix instead of going for a walk, yeah, you might gain a pound the first month, but if you continue to gain a pound for the next 5 years, you're up 60 to 70 pounds, right? Versus if you stop watching so much Netflix and you start going for, more night walks or something like that, and you stop eating chips, then you can lose, 2 pounds a month. That sounds like nothing, but after 2 years, that's 50 pounds, and you're going to look completely different. People are going to be like, what happened? What's the secret, right? Small changes make a huge difference. Like for me, I was just like, okay, let me just start executing what I do, with nutrition. Because I was going to the gym. I was like, let me execute what I'm doing with nutrition. It's like, okay, I gained a pound, I gained 2 pounds, gained 3 pounds because I was bulking, trying to put on muscle. And, I was like, okay, he's making some progress. People were like, okay, you're making some progress. And then all of a sudden, all the progress just compounds because you gain, obviously, if you gain like 2 pounds, every 2 weeks, then that's like 4 pounds a month. And then after 8 months, it's like 30, 40 pounds. And people are like, holy shit, you look way bigger. What happened? That time goes by really fast. So just realize that, all your work is going to be added on top of each other. Each pound loss is going to compound. And when you're consistent with your habits, the results are going to come. All right. So you want to be patient, but you also want to give every day 110%. So you want to work like it's up to you, and you want to be patient like it's up to God, right? So in reality, you want to approach every day like it's your last day. Like literally, you want to approach every day like you're going to get results tomorrow. That's how you want to work. You want to be like, you know what? I'm going to get results tomorrow. That's how you want to work out, but you want to be patient enough to be like, I may not get results for a year, right? So you just want to put the work in. Like when I go to the gym, I'm just like, okay, let me go as hard as I can. Let me give it everything I got. But I don't expect results for a long period of time. All right. I'm like, I know that, it's not going to happen over time. I'm not going to reach my end goal overnight because it took me years to gain the weight, but let me put the work in anyways and go as hard as I can. Because when you have that mentality, that really humble mentality, like, you know what, I'm going to work as hard as I can, and I'm just going to be patient and I focus on the process. Those people get results faster than the people who are so fixated on losing weight overnight, right? Everyone who's trying to lose weight overnight is looking for the next detox, is looking for the next, looking for the next pill, for the Ozempic, for the phentermine, all that bullshit, instead of actually changing their habits and changing who they're becoming. Because best believe you can take these small little, pills and stuff like that, or you can do a few workouts, or you can do a 7-day water fast. But if you don't change who you are becoming, if you don't change your identity, how you view yourself, then you're never going to actually be able to maintain that goal. All right. All right, guys. So yeah, link is in the bio for coaching. I hope this helped, and I hope you guys really paid attention to this video and that it helped you as far as mindset shifts. Because like I said, the most important thing when it comes to reaching your fitness goal is actually changing your mindset and shifting how you look at things. Like the way fit people view things versus the way, out of shape people view things is completely different, right? Like fit people know that, a cheat week is going to hold you back. Unhealthy people, they have a cheat week every week. obviously. So they think that if they incorporate a cheat week, then that's fine. But healthy people know that they're becoming a fit person, their identity is shifting, and unhealthy people still view themselves as unhealthy, obviously. Like a lot of times, if you're unhealthy and you've been yo-yo dieting, what you're going to think about every time you are doing, a diet or something, and someone asks you like, hey, what are you doing? They're like, well, I'm trying to do this workout. The fact that you're saying you're trying to do it, that means you still think of yourself as an unhealthy, overweight person, but you're trying to do something, right? Instead of saying that I'm no longer unhealthy, so I'm eating this way, right? That'll make a huge difference if you're like, yeah, this is what I eat now. This is my new lifestyle. Once you start talking like that with certainty and you really start to shift your identity, you're going to notice that your results are going to definitely come faster and they're going to stay.